So the news I'm about to give is not pleasant, but it should also not be shocking. At this morning's meeting, Council was given some financial scenarios as a result of COVID-19 that shows an over $140 million hit to our revenues by mid-September, and that number grows to closer to $260 million by December in the worst case scenarios. Now, obviously, some of this lower revenue corresponds to lower demand for services, as well as closed facilities and reduced civic activity in some areas of our organization. And so we are working to reduce expenditures to offset these dramatically lower revenues. However, because we still do not have certainty with regards to the cost coverage from the province or the federal government, nor are municipalities eligible for the 75% federal wage subsidy, we have had to reduce staff levels and are likely to further reduce our staff levels on a temporary basis to cover the growing financial gap. Now, although we continue to advocate to the province and the Government of Canada to backstop the impact to local governments, we know that whatever relief may eventually come will not come soon enough, and Council must still make some very difficult decisions to reduce expenditures as much as possible. And because it would be irresponsible for us to run an operating deficit, we do need to look at reducing costs in all areas that we can. In addition to looking at personnel, we're going to need to look at some delays in infrastructure spending to free up discretionary cash to cover the impacts of COVID on this year's budget. Now, we do hope that the provincial and federal infrastructure stimulus, when it comes, will allow us then to ramp back up without skipping a beat. But I do need to highlight that there is now risk to our infrastructure program and our long-term asset conditions because of the need to cut costs. Now, because there is no appetite anywhere for large tax increases to address the shortfalls in revenues and our extraordinary costs, and because Council does not wish to run deficits, it means we will have to make more hard decisions that affect our operations. Although the fuller budget discussion will take place on April 27th, I think it's important to be as transparent with our public as possible, as more budget reports will be publicly available to flesh this out next week and support Council's decisions the week after. Now, Council did have extensive discussions in private today about some of the potential measures that we will have to take to help manage costs, and as you can imagine, those discussions were in private because they do involve discussions about our labor force, and we will have more to say about this next week.